Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. Let's go. Go get 'em, right? All right, thanks. Happy 2022. Let's get it started and get right to business, right? What's the business? The business is Bitcoin. Quick shout out to everybody in the chat. How we doing today? How you starting your year? Everything's good here. Today is January 3rd. 2022. We're here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Let's keep that for now and then get started. 1 second here. Good. Thank you. So here we are starting the year with Bitcoin floundering. What happened? 48,000 and nothing. First step there, really not constructive. I think it's the 4-hour chart is where we need to be on this whole time frame. Everything that you want to consider going forward and Bitcoin being your main focus. Although I'll look at total today and a couple different totals. Total crypto market cap with, without Ethereum. I think a lot going on there that is going to be helpful going forward. Are we getting out of this hole? I mean, we've got the patterns. We have confirmation. Some people, I think there was actually a couple comments where people were saying, hey, go to like the 8-hour time frame. Why? It sure has taken a while. If you go out that 8-hour time frame, okay. You do have confirmation. Your HSI checkback is basically 46,700 with your other pattern levels completed, but you go there, we're still dealing with 30 bars. 30 bars will put us, just count it out, from terminal bar. Okay, there's terminal bar. Back here on the 29th for Bitcoin, or sorry, the 29th on in that case. So where will we get to by then? Remember, an 8-hour bar, 3 bars a day. Okay, so 10 days. So maybe we get out to somewhere around the 9th, 8th or 9th, but we want to look at this window because this is not the construction we want to see. If we're going to get a type 1 reaction, no doubt, that's what we're anticipating, even with all of this going on here. Okay, I still say watch each individual bar. What's that telling you? Well, since making a prior high of yesterday off of this low pivot, it's been down. So I'm still looking for this thing to grind. I never thought this would be anything more than reactive, and I still say we're looking for ultimate reactive move, at least now off that shark, to basically 49 or 50. Remember the larger levels, the 886 off the daily was up at 56. But one thing to look at, maybe what we're doing here is we go sideways, we let more air out, come down, hit amplified RSI one more time. We're at 42, we need a 30 reading. And then we go. I'm still thinking that for sure. Let me check a couple things here with everybody. Markets were up this morning, then sold off. Let me check the chat. I'm still running off of one screen here. So, sounds good. Let's jump over to the total screen. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. We've been focusing a lot on Bitcoin. Let's look at total crypto market cap, please, here on 8-hour, or actually the daily. Probably better. Dealing with a lot of the same structures, a lot of the same phenomenon that kind of happened with the larger coins as well. This is actually held up fairly well. Connect some dots there. B point at a 50, C point there. Now, shouldn't that be a bat pattern at an 886? It didn't get down there. That's on the daily. That's something to think about. There is an ABCD right off the top, but remember, with that falling the way it did, let's see, let me get this really precise. Make sure we're where we need to be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, by definition, that's a 50. This should be an 886. Oh, the thing I wanted to show, actually on the weekly, going through this, we had, come back here. This is total excluding Bitcoin. Take a look there. See the same thing that you saw in Bitcoin and Ethereum, where all of this is just grinding at the 113 of the prior shark. Your shark is like there. That's your shark. That's a maximum, almost blew out the maximum allowable tolerance. Then what will we look for? Probably a 50. 50% pullback. Minimum 382 is the first target, but look, there's the 50. So in effect, your 5.0 completed on that downdraft in the total crypto too, excluding BTC. And this one came up. Okay. Now, you typically would go to an 886 off that 50. It's the two targets for a 50. It's either an 886 or it's a 1618. So just taking time, maybe consolidating here, absolutely. But the other thing to consider is you don't want that. Again, just another reason why this should not, the low from December across the board. If you want the long-term trend to continue, cannot get violated. It's that simple. And I think we're running out of time. I think we are running out of time. I'm going to put a date on it, folks, and I'm going to say January 10th. Okay? I'll keep going with this notion until about, a week from now. Give it another week, maybe 10 days tops. And if we don't get out of this hole and we can't do something demonstrative, then you're, probably sideways to down, more so. Surprising that if it was going to sell, I thought it would have sold harder, and you would have seen something go into year's end. I mean, theoretically, you kind of did with the December downdraft. Okay, where people cashing out maybe 30 days before the end of the year, and then they can rotate money. But that really doesn't affect crypto. That would be something you would do with stocks. Mutual funds, you sell before the 30-day rule, so you can then reinvest, take losses, what have you. But crypto's different accounting. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm looking at that. Here's the total 3. That's DeFi. Here's the total 3, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this would be basically your S-Coin index. And we did a shark. We could trace it out, just like the rest of them. 113 is like there. 1.045, and then came down, did a 5.0. So and a 5.0 is actually your best option, probably the best thing you want to see if you want to see continuation. All right, the only thing is taking more time than I think most people assume. But there's the 50 level, dramatic response off of that 50 level. And our first, still, no matter what's going on currently, I still say 886 is your first stop. First stop, 1.09. That's on the crypto total S-Coin, let's call it the S-Coin index, because it's without BTC and Ethereum. But I still want to see, I don't want to see prior lows get violated. Stuff like this, stuff like watching this hold about, 840 billion. You don't want to see this thing roll over. In fact, what you really want to see here take shape, even if you're still super bearish, is something like this. Or, super bullish, but you have a problem with this current construction. This latest pivot point is at a 707. I'm not a fan of 707s, folks. It's kind of like it's a watch out number. When your B point's is 707, what it should typically give you, the reciprocal B is a 141, 707, 141. Okay, but this is, again, that has to be a C point. The other thing that you might have been looking at, or people might have been trying to trace out, is, well, maybe this was happening earlier. Maybe this is still happening earlier, where maybe what we're dealing with is a bat pattern here. Trace that out. But tell me about what this C to D leg looks like. Kind of failing, losing its integrity, if you will. Clearly, be it a 50 or 49.1, that's probably almost 50 on the dot. Sets up a nice W formation, but again, you tighten stops, you tighten up, everything basically on like that. Even in, let's say we get a nice, I don't know, something happens in the next couple days and we're still bearish, I'd want to be bearish up here at the back completion. This kind of all lends itself to saying, let's hold up, let's not jump the gun yet. Still looking for this W formation to complete. But if it can't get out of the way and it rolls over, well, we know that we have to continually tighten up stops. Our allowance for drawdown is getting tighter. The further we get into the month and the year, the more this has to perform, or you just start to consider other options, that this is going to need a lot more time. One moment, 1 second. All right, thanks. So let's take a look here. I can look at a couple of these. Look, I don't think it's I'm not going to say we're failing. I just going to say this is requiring more time, and it can do that. It can be very frustrating when it doesn't give you what you're looking for. But that's absolutely part of the trading process. If we don't have a continuation here, what do we have? Well, we're going to need more time. We're going to need more time. And if anything, maybe what that more time is just to come back to November, December. That's not what I think bulls would want to see here. And I am impressed by all of the 50% reversals or reactions is a better way to say it. Other than that, BTC's been disappointing. Let's go back. Bitcoin, all right, down 1,000 now, 900, back at the 46 level, which is, our last HSI was bearish. What have we done since then? Not much. We got rejected off of HSI and we've gone rolling over. Can't muster much up here. More time. I mean, this is a nice position where you'd want to be, but again, when you generate an HSI that's in your face like that, it's more time. More time to go sideways, more time to maybe trigger down, and it's not really where you want to see it down. On the daily, this is Binance. Maybe you come down and trigger HSI at 30 or something as I started today's session. Not what bulls want to see, and even so here we go. Before we get out of here, this is the shark. Still a shark. Down to the 886. There's your 886 I've got my other. This one's got to come up to get on there. And that 886 is exactly at 43. So I personally, I don't want to see it at 43. And I think a lot of you know the reason why. If 43 or 42, I don't have much interest there. I don't have much interest at anything in here. And that is one of the concerns, no doubt. I don't know what happened. Anyone see this crazy wick on Binance? Because it's not in the other. Look at other data feeds on Bitcoin. I don't know what that was on Binance. Binance has had some weird moves. Also, take note, Shark is retesting the 886. Sorry, price action is retesting the 886 of the Shark at 46,303. You need something here now, and you need it fast. Here's the hourly. Oversold. Okay, yeah, finally. In fact, this hourly example here could be much like the daily or 4 hour time frame, where green line's on, and you're waiting for that final completion, final retest. Yeah, how many days have we spent in here? Beautiful pattern structure. Just about most of what you want to see. Firm reaction on the initial test. Terminal bar retest. HSI check back. I mean, look on the hourly time frame. Textbook. Right there. Right there, which is exactly where we are currently. 46.3, 46.250, 46.2. That's like just it. It's about a 100-point range, $100 range is going to tell you most of what you need to know to start the month, start the year. I'll open up I'll go to the other platform in a second and look at Bitcoin futures, but you know, there are other things moving. Here's something that I found interesting from the depths of nowhere, YFI, right? YFI has been a big mover. Look at this. Okay. So is crypto dead? I don't think so. Is that just a reaction? Is that something more? We'll see. But YFI, you go from 2,000 to 20,000 to 40,000 pretty quickly. It says a lot of what's going on down here. That has all the makings of a shakeout where you finally take it down and then no sellers here and go right back up. Maybe a 1618 on YFI. But that's kind of the feel. I think it's you're just dragging and dragging and dragging sideways here like that on BTC, and then you get some buyers in and it pops hard. Here's XRP, folks. I think this is another one where we connect dots. You have a real nice bat pattern, but it's a type 1. There you go. X to A. Where's B? At a 618. So that's a Gartley. 786 is where we would look on that. That's at 70 cents. So XRP, again, we would favor that closer to the 786 for sure. I'll consider the 886, but 618 at the B point identifies the whole structure. Not to mention, it's tough to see, but you have the A to B. Okay, there's your first A to B segment from 150 down to about 85, and then so C to D is essentially 135 to the CD point, 72, 70 cents. Roughly lines up everywhere with that larger zone, and so maybe that's looking for leaders here, looking for things that are going to show us what's going on. So there's your reaction off of that on XRP. It would come down for that reversal and then go, but that's still a lot lower than you want to be, even on a percentage basis. But that's what seems to be coming together. Daily time frame, not much. In fact, what's your last HSI? It's bearish. Coming back down to retest that zone. That's it. That's what it's doing. Let me check in. Is Bitcoin already a 5.0? No, it's not. Never got up there fully. And it could be in a grind here where that, maybe we get a delayed signal later, but you're not getting it now. And that's not, again, not what people were expecting or you want to see. Here's that DeFi. This is, I think, pretty interesting as well. I did want to mention this before I jump off crypto. Okay. DeFi, that was the keyword, right? Last year? About a year ago, that was the craze. Well, I hadn't really come across this index until recently and see that HPC is generating a massive ABCD pattern at the top. Hop is, basically 202 billion. You've topped out. You did a type 1 reaction. Coming back for type 2. This is where, again, what's it going to do now? What's it doing within this 30 bar window? What's it doing on the check back? Where is that exact ABCD? And I'm going to highlight this because it is ironically off of exclusively the 2021 data. So for 2021, think of that as a whole annual cycle unto itself. We're generating a perfect ABCD structure. Ideally, sure, maybe some kind of all-time, something like this might have been better. Like, go there and then stretches out and then B point there to a 1618, something like that. But no. Keep an eye on that structure. It is impressive how this thing went to target 1. On the candle, it hit target 1. It could not follow through. Good sign. Also, okay, we're starting the month here. A bit of indecision after the rebound in November and holding your head December with not a bad close. You need to see this thing continue higher. And again, look at that at like 150 billion market cap. You want this bar over bar. That's also something I talk about. These type of reversals and these type of movements, I call them serial movements, where once you get into a move, okay, look at each individual bar. Look at the last 3 candles. Tell me what's going on there. Okay, we know this reaction is over. And once it completed, yes, it did a serial 1, 2, 3 straight down move. But now we want to see the return move at least do the same. We don't want to see any indecision here. You want to see a breakout for sure, which is another 8-10% higher from current levels. And a full retest of the hop, if this is even strong on a bearish retest. So keep an eye on those larger indices. Total with Bitcoin, without Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin looks like it's the real weight, the dead weight, if you will. Once you pull it out of these other indices, and take out Ethereum too, well, then the lesser known market caps, DeFi, or without all of those, look okay. It looked like we're still in a retest, which I've said all along. I would love to see just a seasonal drift higher. Bitcoin doesn't have to do much. The altcoins run. And that's pretty much your favored speculation scenario. But Bitcoin's not getting off the floor. Let me check in. Closing the CME gap. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm surprised, someone's saying about Binance, the scam wicks on Binance. That would really stink if that was the case and you had stops there, or I don't have a Binance account. There's a good comment. Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at that overall. That chart. I think that's a great one. Oh, that looks terrible. What the heck? Look at that. It's not even constructive M or W, and I'll show you why. Look, can we make a M formation out of this? No, because this prior high was taken out nominally. So what is that? That's a shark. Shark to flow, folks. It just seems to be, if it's not a bat, it's a shark. It just seems like that's, or if it's not a bat or a crab, it just seems like getting sharks everywhere. So 886 is right there at 39% of Bitcoin dominance. Um, you do have your 1618. So this is the beauty of the shark, because you get this BC downdraft. And that at least gives you a 1618 throwdown move. Talked about that last week of why that was so critical. That throwdown move on the 886, the 1618 is really all the way up here at about 47, 46%. So the rest is just kind of like overspill, if you will. But right at the 886, really clear. You go to new lows on Bitcoin dominance, you're going to need more time. It's the easiest way to think about it in terms of your brain, not up or down, just more time to continue doing what it's been doing, which is down, to sideways to down, which means X, Y, and Z. All right, which means wouldn't be speculating so much on altcoins, wouldn't be backing up the truck quite yet. Maybe what it does here is a ditch down and to retest, shake out the prior lows. I mean, looks like a lot of shakeouts are what are needed, to get any kind of capitulation. So you throw down a deep crab, minimum 1618 into 33% dominance. And if we got crazy down to like a 1902, you're talking 30x percent, 31% dominance. If that's what we're going to do, if that's what it's going to take. Cardano, great thrust up, no follow through. Again, what is here? Well, big fat bat pattern. We know that. And it's real nice when they are off of, definable highs and lows like that. You go back to the cycle low of July from last year. It's perfect. 886 is bang right there. 125. And so we could come back and hit that a few times. And with still looking for reactive territory up to, maybe we do something like this. Come back down to 125 one more time. And then go to a 382. That's still at 193. That's nothing. 382 on Cardano. Otherwise, let's get some perspective, right? They always say, if in doubt, zoom out. All right, well, here's your zoom. You tell me what's going to happen if that does not hold. Right? And one of these folks is going to say, you got to tighten the stops on the whole thing. I just really is the takeaway, and to stay on that, where, okay, I'm going to go to hour, 4 hour, anything down there. A little bit, I still say 125 is probably the number against all of these oversold readings. It's more so the lack of continuation, the lack of, you couldn't go to 190 on the first run. So it's going to take more time. I mean, ideally, go to 190 would be natural, 192. That would be a perfect type 1 reaction, and then come back down. I'd feel a lot better. So these little short, unsustained bursts, not what you want to see if you're looking for crypto to do major things in 2022. Not off the start of it. Here's Aave. This is another one, a darling that people wanted last year, talking about forever. Get back here. Yep. There you go. No, there's a year ago, and that was before it got on Coinbase. And this thing did amazing, incredible things before it got onto the major exchanges, but has not. And the thing about Aave that it took out the last low at 150 here, and now we're dealing with a lot of HSI signals on the daily. That was the thing that I talked about when we were down at these lows back in mid-December, that we needed to blast through any bearish signal that came off of the low. For Aave, 275, 285 really is capping this for now. The last one, Algo, still okay. Okay, Algo had some things down here around 150, what was it, 135? Let me go back here. Yeah, it was a couple of these hop levels, 130, 125. You had a ABCD, a big bat, a couple of things down here. This is a nice progress. This is nice reactive move. I mean, sizable. Go to 130 to 180 in a 2 weeks. That's a great move, tradable move. But we're back here now with, you got a bat pattern, bearish bat pattern, coming back at 176. And this one as well was just 382 reaction. Depending on, because some of these, depending on your data feed, some of those wicks were quite high depending on the data feed. But generally, if this was super strong, we're looking at a 382 move at 185. Then come down and then go. I mean, that's really what I still want to see. It's just that, tell me about each individual bar here as we start the year. Are we going to continue higher? I'm okay with sideways. Just hold your lows and at least make progress, not rolling over. Couple of, let's see here, couple questions, comments. It's been 8 months for alt season. Yeah, look, I think that's more. People talk about the curve, the cycle extending out. I don't think it's going to extend out in terms of time. I think it's going to extend out in terms of where capital allocation goes. That's why you're going to see things like Solana, which did its move in the face of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and probably some of these other ones. Where's Matic? Really quick. Matic. Yeah, Matic was just pushing up to new all-time highs New Year's Eve. Keep an eye on that. Really, if that does not follow through on Matic, you're looking at the top for now. There's a couple of those. Really quick, a couple of the Bitcoin. Check out some of these Bitcoin stocks. Crypto stocks, crypto miners, and all of that. There's Marathon. Perfect crab pattern, right? At a target 2, looking for something down here, right, to start the new cycle back up. We saw that in Riot. Riot blockchain was about a week ago. Down here at 2315 is the hop off that Gartley. Type 2. Stabilizing. Taking a little bit more time. We really want to see some indicator confirmation. We want to see some real stabilization at that 23 level. So far, so good. The other one was that buy bit, but that was a little bit lower. Again, those should link up. BTBT. I think that's a little bit lower. And that's on a weekly as well down here. Yep. That's around 4. But big patterns, and that's the kind of thing you want to see. I mean, these can move, they don't all need to move together, but they absolutely have a lot of those signs that are, a lot more constructive than not being there. And here's the other one. Before I get out of there, let's go look at this. Where'd you go, MicroStrategy? There you go, MicroStrategy. At a weekly HSI, that's real nice. That's at 560. Amazing. Daily time frame, yeah, was this Gartley type 2. We're also at target 2 at basically 559. I'm going to remove that. There you go. But nothing on the weekly that links up to say that's it for now. No HSI, nothing there. Anything on the 4-hour? Check that out. All right, well, keep an eye on MicroStrategy because like Ethereum and a couple of these other ones that formed patterns about 2 months ago, you're retesting that support level. That's at 537. Wouldn't take much for that thing to pop out of that zone. Don't have confirmation though. I mean, really, it's your last confirmation was back here, and then you go sideways for 30 days doing nothing. I'd rather see that pop up about 560, 570, and then go. Your target 2, would be there, about 678. So at least you have some of those major players with crypto that have retesting big support. You're at pullback areas, okay. But I will say, give me a week, give me 8 days maybe. If it doesn't do it, we're gonna have to reassess. All right, let me go over to the other platform. Thank you, Snipes. Yeah, I'll get to that. How about Solana? All right, because I talked about Solana. And as I say this, I'll pull up the risk disclaimer and talk about risk here, that this is not financial advice. Everyone knows that. Think for yourself, especially during these times. This is entertainment I hope you find educational. And Solana is going to have to check back, folks. 153. Let me get a disclaimer here. But so more time. That's really the takeaway. Here's a disclaimer. Do read about CFTC 4.41. What's amazing, maybe one day I'll take a couple minutes and show you how many knuckleheads. There's so many of these CFTC stories of knuckleheads that are doing scams. You wouldn't believe it that the CFTC goes after, but we're going to try to keep it on the up and up. And up is not the word on Solana, right? Come on. More work to do. It's there. I mean, one of the things that bugged me that developed probably between, depending on your coin, the last 4 or 5 days is this thing, HSIs, where the reaction right at the 21st did this, And Solana is supposed to be one of your strongest, and then it hits an HSI and rolls right over. It's going to need more time. Really great. A lot of people, so many people got with HPC for TradingView, or the whole package, the pro package, everything. I appreciate all the feedback, by the way. A lot of people sent me great emails, how much they're learning by watching the patterns unfold and watching the resources, the courses. So just, shout out on that. I appreciate that feedback, and share with your friends, absolutely, the ones that you like. Um, I really believe this is, what we've done here in trying to create a uniform framework that can be automatically detected, illustrated in the same way on every time frame in every market. I think it shows. But we're in a situation, and I've discussed these before, where you still need to make that as ultimate assessment. We want structure. We want pattern completion with confirmation, absolutely. But we still need to manage the trade. I mean, I'm working on the bot, and I have the bot, and I will be showing everyone the bot very soon. But it's simply an application. The bot is just the automated process of what we still need to understand. That's why when I highlight great patterns like this and look at them as potential candidates, if we don't have confirmation, or we hit pattern completion and we go sideways for so long, it says something about what's happening at this zone, at this pattern completion. Yes, there's a pattern. Yes, there's some nominal reaction. But the failure to continue, the failure to even reach target 1 within 30 bars tells me a lot about the character of this area. And the final piece to consider also, that we've seen a lot of sloppy patterns that have like a delayed effect, and absolutely, but I want to respect that. Understand this is crypto, the movements can ebb and flow like that. But I usually will get another signal no matter what, that we can wait. If I have something where great pattern, and then it goes sideways, bang, and we run into a couple of HSI bearish signals that are working against the bullish pattern, and we can't continue, well, that's telling me, again, I'm going to have to manage that accordingly and probably take it out and look for another entry. We do have another entry in Solana. 172 is the check back level. Okay, and we're hitting oversold HSI, amplified RSI, where that would be not a bad place to look for it, but it's not there yet. This amplified has to pop out of the zone. HSI is going down again. That has to pop down and pivot. So you're talking hours. You're talking like several more hours. Maybe even go to the hop at 162 and then go. It's sloppy. It is sloppy out there, folks. It's a lot like this storage. You guys really got me going today. Storage, 4 hour. Come on, storage. Where were you? Was it? Yeah, storage like this, right? This is a great example of a dud. Tradable, but it's still a dud. A beautiful pattern structure. This has everything you want to see. And I still caught a couple of these. Okay, terminal bar, HSI. All right, now start looking, because there's the terminal bar check back right there, 886 check back. Right in there, that's your zone. But again, look what happens. We come out to react. We run into an HSI bearish signal. It tries to get through. It really tried and could not go through. Rolled over. That's why I'm looking so closely now, because if we're going to roll over again, if this is Bitcoin, total crypto market cap, we're going to have to retest, and we're going to have to, at a minimum, get another HSI signal. More time. This is what more time looks like. It's not really fun. It's not, it's not something you want to sit through until you get another trigger. And we could follow it where, okay, fine, comes back, there's another trigger, but nothing. Think about this, 10, 15 bars here, sideways down, bang, yet another HSI 1-2, but comes out of the zone. And just a lot of reactions here. So as soon as you see HSI in the other direction, I mean, if you're triggering off of that and you get HSI against you, that's about it. It has worked quite well, for storage where you get these little micro bursts. And that's real nice. I mean, 172 back up to whatever that last one was, or, this one was 160 where your last two were at 203. Just be aware of that, folks, where if you're hodling, this is going to drive you nuts. If you're willing to trade it, those are decent moves. But we're not in any kind of environment where that runs. It's probably the best thing to consider. All right, folks, a couple more, and I'm going to roll out. I think we will get to get to other markets tomorrow because everyone's looking at crypto. Here's another one, synthetics. See, I go through 3 or 4 that are disparaging, and then this is something we talked about last week, synthetics making progress. Nice progress. Really, this was a really sweet retest right off of the Gartley. We traced that out. If that was garbage, it would be at new lows under $4 already. Let me see, where's the one with synthetics? There it was. That's what we traced out last week. Nice. It's actually kind of this in between. I mean, your B points at a 618, still 886. By definition, we say a Gartley, okay, because it's a 618 at the B point. Where is the ABCD off the top? Because the ABCD is a minimum component that's critical. It has to be there. And then the C to D leg would be like there. But 886 is really at, I think this said this last week, 580, 575, and we're now changed 675. So have hope. If you need some hopium, there you go. You have individual cases like this where, okay, we can get some reaction. Can you give me a 382 off the bottom? If not, then I'll just, I'll go to an hourly and I'll wait for my next signals. A couple all the way back there at 484, but I was more focused on the daily, weekly, because a lot of them are like this. You're at you did these big 886 retests. You're there on a second time, which is something we talked about. I know I talked about this specifically last week. And now you see the individual bar response, stabilization on the retest. Okay, individual weekly candle breakout, follow through. Now you just need to close. Any close above basically that 640 level on SNX would be very good. Quite constructive. What else? It's a bat pattern on the software. What, on the 4-hour time frame? I knew there was something there. Oh, you know what? I think I deleted what I needed. Yeah, check it out. I don't have all my M and Ws. Remember I was saying this yesterday? So for Harmonic Pattern Collection for TradingView, you need all 6 modules, 3 M and Ws and 3 ABCDs. So I need an M&W, and I'll probably pull it up. So M&W. The other thing is you need to set them for small, medium, and large. So a small, large, and regular, if you will. I knew there was, I real certain there was something there. And then go and save it. Save your layout, folks. Or you can select auto save, and every time you make a change, that'll hit your auto save. And then if you want to make sure, save a copy. Sometimes, depending if you're running a script or you're running a VPN or who knows. Sometimes it won't save. All right, so what is that SNX? It was generated on the 4-hour. Looking for help. Weekly bat. Thank you on KuCoin. Way to be, Snipes. Appreciate it. There's a lot of these. Weekly on KuCoin. That's Binance. There's Coinbase. I don't even have it. Maybe I deleted it. Again, really good idea to have all of the data feeds as possible. So let me see, KuCoin. SNX on. There it is. No, I don't have it. I have versus Bitcoin. I have. There it is. Versus Tether. Huh. Anybody on that KuCoin brokerage? Is it any good? Curious. Oh, damn. Look at that. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. There you go. Maybe that's my homework assignment for tonight. I need to go through and add probably 100 data feed symbols. Not just different coins, but data feeds. All right, there. Look, that's a dream. That's what we want. I mentioned this last week as well, that we haven't really seen many daily, weekly major patterns in a while. There's one. That's one that I'm all over. Sweet. You got any more? HPC users. What else do you have? Daily, weekly. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. And likes KuCoin. See, that would be the thing for us to do. Get on that Binance Smart Chain and go find like the super, not S coins, call them sewer coins really, but like really crud coins almost. KuCoin? All right, folks, I will check out KuCoin. I don't do any of those. Don't do any of those referrals or anything. I don't know. I don't. For me, all of that's borderline regulatory nonsense. Bico, someone's saying Bico. I did see something in Bico recently. I don't know what it is, this Bico, but I did see something on that came across my screen. Bat pattern on the hourly. What was that? That's Bico. Yeah, maybe an 886 here, but I'm not getting it. I want to find those on the weekly that are automatically generated. Like, look, that's at a 618. So your 786 is like that. 886 is a little bit lower. I know my X is off. Should be like that. Clearly a Gartley. And that's actually more of what you want to see. But when I talk about these big patterns, and this is something for tomorrow, let's leave it on Bitcoin. I want to go back to this. First, yes, we want big 4-hour minimum patterns that we can, especially back-to-back patterns. That's why I'm hyper focused on this structure, hyper focused on this zone. To me, this is last year at 29,000 when everyone thought, nope, Bitcoin was done. This next pivot, 47, 46, 44, whatever it may be, cannot be 42, cannot be 41, or I'm out. And the same way I said there's nothing under 29 but 10, I'll say the same thing here. So I'll stay hyper focused on this. Let them try to throw out the last of it. Are they really going to take this down to the hop at 44,646? Or is it just going to drag out and take more time and go up, down in a sideways grind until we can work it out to get a trigger there? Don't know. That's kind of my inclination. But on a bigger scale, I want to see things like this develop. I want to go back in time. I want to go back to the S coins. This is what maybe we'll jump into tomorrow. All right, and I'm going to talk tomorrow. I really want to spend time on the crypto market cap from basically everything from like 20 to 200. Forget the first 20 because they're going to drop and fall and switch around. I want to know the ones that are going to go from 100 to 20 or go from 200 to 50 and do it with patterns like this. So synthetics had a fat pattern like Bitcoin did before it started its thing. And until Bitcoin gives us another daily bullish pattern, like, off the top or something, you have to assume that this is just still in a massive uptrend off of these patterns. And they started back-to-back patterns, bat to bat. I mean, it was phenomenal. We also saw that, if you remember, we started today really getting into the total crypto market cap. Well, we had it in total crypto market cap, and we had perfect type 1, type 2 behavior. It was perfect. Let me clean it up. And it's something to be thinking about for all of our opportunities for this year of waiting for them to come to us. Waiting for the pattern to get generated. Expect the reaction. This one in target 1 went right up to there, and the reaction, COVID low, comes right back down for a terminal bar retest for type 2 with confirmation. Bang, right there. Never looks back again. Okay? But here's something that to consider with this is total crypto. This is everything. We did get a generated ABCD. So for 2021, this is a takeaway for today. We do have a massive bearish structure that started, basically November. It was realized and was hit, this ABCD, for the year. And so I'm not going to break the framework where I'll still say that should be type 1 reaction. We didn't get any kind of HSI confirmation. That's a real shame. I wish it would have been really nice to have seen that. But I will still look at this total crypto market cap at basically 220, where it is currently, and needs to hold. You don't want to see this thing go to 1.9 or anything like that, or otherwise it's going to take more time. Rather, I want to see it hold right here, right this week, and make a straight shot back to 3.13. And then I will, if I want to get bearish, it would be there. If I want to jump off completely, it would be there. All right, and I will then and make that assessment beyond there. But this is early stages of what should be a type 2 return, where we go back, return to test the harmonic. We don't have HSI. That's the only thing that disturbs me about that weekly scenario. Although the daily looks like that, where it's just sitting on the floor at those numbers. So I will consider it, but be aware of that. The whole framework is, sitting right where it should be for a next retest, and that's what I want to see. We just need maybe 2 days of some construction. So let's come back tomorrow. We'll get deeper on some of that S coin work. Uh, yeah, and we'll look at some of these other opportunities. I think SNX is a great one. It's just at what price, and it's an example of what can happen. YFI, another one, but we need to be on top of these markets. And again, I think as long as Bitcoin can just hold its head, it doesn't have to do much for other altcoins to run and be in that kind of a good speculative environment to start the year. Otherwise, I'll say it, by January 10th, 1 week from today, the picture will be quite clear, one way or another, because it's not going to take much to go up to get it going. And if it violates, then you're talking about a lot of time that's going to be required to reset a deeper correction. I mean, this is just your total crypto market cap is still this. We're still looking for deep crab 1618 later this year. And that's at 3.4, 3.5. That's still the assumption despite this broken CD leg, which it's somewhat broken, but it's really confirmed. I'm going to say, not only we were saying before, if it breaks the C leg, C point there, it's no longer a deep crab. Well, just keep bringing it up. You take out that, or you take out these lows, yeah, integrity's gone entirely. Just be mindful. That's really, from a framework structural perspective, why I'm still looking for this to stabilize here and then head higher. Be the pivot point to go up to the 1618. We'll see. We're a week away from really, really being able to know. Thanks, everybody. Great session. Come on back. Listen, everyone that got books, they are en route. You're going to have to allow at least a week or two. If you're international, wait 4 weeks. And then everybody with software, I think I got everyone set up. If I didn't get you set up and you won, please send me your full name, email, and your username on YouTube from last week so I can identify you. Other than that, everyone that got connected, if you have questions, just reach out to me. Get with the Discord link, and I will post more. We'll talk more about the Discord tomorrow. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day. And as always, go get them.